It's your coach, Carla Nicole. Hope everybody is doing wonderful today. It is extremely cold where I am. You talking about not cold, but frigid, Arctic cold. I mean, it is ridiculous, let me tell you. And I'm like, ooh, that's a lot. It's a lot. So, welcome to I Would Coach episode. It is your coach, Carla Nicole. And today I decided to feature a celebrity by the name of Jason Lee. I enjoy Jason and his platform, and so I wanted to talk about something that I learned about Jason Lee that I didn't know recently, that he is considering becoming a co-parent with Tiffany Haddish. And so this episode is about celebrities. So this is an I Would Coach episode, but this is a Celeb Matters topic because of course they do. I do know that celebrities are very big amongst the community, and I enjoy doing these because I feel like celebrities are now more touchable since their social media, and we kind of end up getting a little more information about them since social media and celebrities seem to be a little more open about their lives. So I think it's a good time to tap in to what they got going on, what are they doing, and things of that nature. So welcome. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. This is Coaching Matters. I'm Coach Carla Nicole. Don't forget to, again, join my new Patreon. I am on Patreon now, and it's under Carla Nicole. And you will get the links shortly in the comments so you can, be a part of my community over on Patreon. I am on Patreon now, and I would love for you to come over there and just support your coach out here. It's very, 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 very important that what we do as, content creators, that we actually get support. So, let's get started. So, I do have on my Patreon this actual course that I created. It's an e-course and it's called Vow to Guide. Vow to Guide is an e-course to help parents um, learn how to guide their children, because once we become parents, there is no absolutely good morning, Alex. There is no book out here when you're a parent. You just kind of are thrown the baby and figure it out. So because I am a mom of two. I have a grown daughter now. She is 25, and I have a teenage son. He is 16. And so, good morning. Good morning. I wanted to talk about this because Jason Lee is wanting to co-parent with Tiffany Haddish. So, what I always do in these episodes, I always present them as though I am actually the coach of the celebrity that we're talking about. So, Jason Lee is a social media influencer. He has his own podcast. He's doing really well. Tiffany Haddish is a comedian, hilarious. Love her dearly. I love both of these individuals. I think they're great people. I just would sit Jason down because he would be the father, and I would like to talk to him first. The reason why I chose to coach Jason is because Jason was talking about what he is feeling about becoming a father and what some of his things he's thinking about before he does so. Which again is not often the case, because normally when babies come, they just come and there's no prep, there's no real time to sit down and think about anything. We're just on, overdrive, trying to figure out, what am I going to do? I'm a mom now, or I'm a dad now. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to do what I can. However, they are planning to get pregnant. Okay, so when you're planning, there's a little bit of a more intention there. So for me, I would love to tell Jason to, first of all, I know you're romanticizing about being a father. However, just like with any honeymoon, the newness will wear off after that baby comes. So I wanted to just help him to not be too romantic about it, but actually sit down and look at some serious things. Here's the 3 things I'm going to go over so that you can keep ahead and a track of what I'm saying. And also, you can grab my Vow to Guide e-course on my Patreon, which I will go into more details on with these certain scenarios. So first, number 1 is we're going to talk about friend zoning in parenting. We're going to talk about building an alliance with Tiffany Haddish. And we're going to talk about being rich in values. So let's start first. He had mentioned on one of his interviews that he was choosing certain people to be instrumental in his child's life, which means he's looking to see who would be the godparents. Now, you hear a lot of people saying, I want this person to be the godmom, I want this person to be the godfather, and we usually choose them based upon our friendship with them. We usually choose our godparents for our children based upon how we believe that they're pretty much in alignment with how we think we think they live okay or whatever. However, Jason said that he was big about the fact they're rich. And I'm like, okay, I get it. However, I would suggest to Jason Lee that rich is fine, yes. However, make sure they're rich in values that you and Tiffany want to instill in that baby. Because here's what's true. Being rich and having a lot of money doesn't necessarily mean that person's a good person. Just because someone is a celebrity doesn't mean they're successful in being purpose driven. So this is something I would suggest to him. I know you're excited and I know you want to make these choices and I know you want to start planning now, which I think is a beautiful idea. Absolutely. But I do think he wants to make sure that he's making a very conscious decision to see what are their values. Someone's values will be more, I'm telling you, more impressionable on a child than you can ever imagine. So if you're wanting to make sure that they're rich, I get it. But just because they're rich doesn't mean they're financially stable. Just because they're rich doesn't know they know how to manage money. I'm just saying. They might have accountants and whatever, but you don't know for sure how they handle certain things just based upon the fact that you know that they have money or mansions or whatever. You have to make sure they're rich in values. And values are key for raising children. I'm here to tell you, it is vital. Don't shortchange that, please. And you and Tiffany should sit down and talk about, what are our values? What do we want to instill in our child? Well, first of all, in this world right now, as we see, there's a lot of hatred. There's a lot of things that people say. There's a lot of things that people do, evil. There's not a lot of kindness anymore. Not like what I'm used to. And so it's important that you're really clear on what values you want to be put into your child. And you and Tiffany should sit down and really conversate about values. Take your time. Don't rush. What I love is that you're preparing, but remember that in this preparation, you still have to make sure that you and Tiffany's values are in alignment. So make sure of that. Prepare for your alliance. So now that I got that off my chest about being rich in values, let's talk about building an alliance with Tiffany. So, yes, this is very important. Before your baby comes, it is very important that you and Tiffany are in agreement that there is no what mom says goes and daddy doesn't matter, or what dad says goes and mommy doesn't matter. You both have to be in alignment at all times. If you get into a disagreement about something, do not do it in front of the child. Here's why. Children know how to master a parent. They do. Children are very smart. Trust me. Those cute little babies that we love oh so much, they know how to work it, let me tell you. And if they can come up with feeling like one parent can be easily swayed on their side, they will work that baby to the end of the earth. And you don't want that. So here's what I would suggest to Jason Lee also. Be mindful that you and Tiffany sit down and come to terms with certain things being already in place. There should be no wedge room to where a child can wiggle in it and be like, I'm on daddy's side or I'm on mommy's side. There are no favorites in parenting. So make sure that you set that up now. You two have to be in alliance. If one parent is not favored by the child at some moment, and it will happen, trust me. When your one child is not favoring you, but might favor, Tiffany, you will need to know, ooh, wait a minute. My child's not in favor of me right now. It's okay. But that child should not be okay to go to mommy and talk about you. Tiffany should always make sure that she encourages the child to love you. Hear what I'm saying? Mothers teach the child how to love the father. Did you hear me? Mothers teach children how to love the fathers. Okay? Make sure you're hearing me, because this is what I would tell Jason. I know you're excited, but understand Tiffany's going to be the one to teach the child how not just to love you, respect you, and wait a minute, not only respect you, she's also going to teach the child how to appreciate you. Here's what's true. As the father, a lot of times fathers don't get appreciated by children at all, normally. Appreciation is developed. I was a daddy's girl, okay? And let me tell you, my mom and I were very combative. We didn't see eye to eye on much at all. However, guess who kept me imbalanced in the mind about my mom's values and how important she was, and why, even though I didn't get it or didn't even see eye to eye with her, why she should still be respected, was my father. And so I would encourage Jason to understand that the child might want to gossip with you about mom, and allow that freedom. However, what I would strongly suggest is that you let that baby know, here's what you need to know. I understand you don't see eye to eye with your mom. Your mom is this and this and this, and here's her values. Always remember that. I know you don't see eye to eye with her. I know you guys are in disagreement, but understand your mother really loves you. Your mother is valued because she's important. Your mother has so much to give to you. Your mother is like a person that will, listen, whoop an animal over you. So understand, yes, she might be difficult and you don't see eye to eye, but understand she's a hell of a woman. The reason why I say fathers teach the daughters or sons how to love the mother is because it's true. And I would also say that mothers teach the children how to love the father. That's just true as well. Please be sure to share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, Coaching Matters, and please check out my Patreon. Now, that's what I would tell Jason, is to always make sure that he always upholds Tiffany. He doesn't have to be in agreement with what Tiffany's doing, and any disagreement that they may have should be done in private, but understand in front of the child at all times, you both should be in alliance, and there is no getting between the two of us. So if something is a rule or something is to be handled or something is to be done, both of you need to be in agreement, and then there is no, well, dad said and mom said no. When you have children, you have to make sure that you build that alliance, and you build the alliance with no questions asked. Also remember, always favor the mother without always having to be in agreement with the mother. In other words, say for instance, she says something you didn't agree with. I get it. But to the child should never know that, ooh, dad is on my side, because as soon as that happens, you're not going to be able to get out of that. Let me tell you about friend zoning with children. I coach about this all the time. When you are a parent, you are not a friend. Those are two different roles here. When you are a parent, you are not a friend. We should not be friend zoning with our children too soon. It's very important that I would explain to Jason that yes, you're going to want to have open conversations and conversate and things like that, and be very involved with your children. But just understand there is a very fine line between parenting and friend zoning, because some people get it confused. Know this, that a lot of times when we have children, we don't realize that we cannot friend zone with our children. Here's why. When you stay in a relationship with your child and they look at you eye to eye, they see you as their equal. When a child sees you as their equal, it's hard for them to respect you. So with that said, you have to be mindful that in order to always have a certain respect from your child has to always look up to you. Look up. See you as a source, not see you as an equal. Because this is why children begin to think that they can talk to you anyway, curse at you anyway, not show reverence and respect to you. This is why this happens. Because they see you as a buddy, as a friend. It's out of order. In order to have a child and be in spiritual alignment with that child, you want to make sure that you have that child really seeing you as not just a father, but a parental guide. This is why I created the e-course Vow to Guide, because Vow to Guide helps you to be always aware that no matter what, I'm not this child's buddy. I'm going to be maybe hated at times because I'm going to put down rules. I'm going to give boundaries. I'm going to say no. All of these things are major reasons why children get upset, frustrated, and really mad. And that's okay. But you're a father. And being that, you have to not feel a way about a child feeling a way about you telling them no, or that they can't do something, or they must do something this way, and there's no other option. So with that said, we have to sit down and realize, oh, being a parent is a beautiful thing, but also being a parent, we have to be strategic. We have to sit down and look at what things do we make sure the child is going to need, because you can't be a parent out here and not discipline. Can't let the child just do what they want to do. That's not going to work, because as soon as you sit back and say, oh, I could just do what I want to do, if a child thinks that there's no boundaries, there's no rules, they can get away with murder, they will. And the murder won't happen until they're grown, but you'll be the one going to the jail and seeing it. And that's going to be very hurtful. So, with that said, excuse me, you want to make sure that you sit back and realize, oh no, I got to make sure that I am a parent, yes, but outside of being a parent, I am also very strict. Let's talk about strict parenting for a minute, shall we? If we're honest, many people look down at, especially when you're a child, you really don't have a liking for a parent that's very strict. A parent that tells you no, a parent that makes you do things you don't want to do. Those are the parents that normally are the most unliked. However, once your child gets grown, you're the parent they come looking for. Why? Because when you're a parent that was strict and had rules, you usually are the one that holds some values, not just every now and then, but you hold values for real. And you make sure that you don't just let someone push you over. You don't just let people get away with whatever they want to get away with. And so when your child ages and gets grown, they start to realize, you know, that strict parent really, I come to appreciate, because I would have been doing all kinds of things. But because I had a parent say, no, you can't do what your friends are doing. No, you can't go over there. When I said so, that's what I mean. Strict parenting is appreciated. Not while you're strict on them. Strict parents are appreciated after they're grown. And they realize that strict parenting came in handy. And then let's not forget, when your child becomes a parent, guess what? They're going to be strict. And that's what you want. Parents aren't here to be friends. That's not our job. As much as even with my grown daughter, as much as I love her, I still have to guide her. She's still young. You know what I'm saying? I'm still her mom. It doesn't matter. I still have to parent. I'm still a parental guide, even though we're close. We have our grown women conversations and all of that, but I'm still very instrumental in parenting. And parenting is not for me to sit around and be her bestie when I know I have to guide her because she's making poor choices. Or she's needing something that I have to support, but I have to tell her when something's wrong in her life. That's often not what friends do. Usually, friends will be like, yeah, girl, yeah, do what you want to do, and y'all will both be in some mess. But when you're a mom, you're like, oh no, you don't want to do that, and here's why. And then I give reasons. She makes the final decision, but I'm still the mom. I'm still guiding and telling her, no, you don't want to do that, or do this instead. And then I'll say nothing else. I'll leave it up to her. So this is the last thing I would give Jason Lee. And I would tell him, be honest with yourself and see if you would want your child to be your dependent for life, or do you want your child to be independent? Let me tell you why this is important. Because when fathers, especially when they have daughters, they want to be the source of that daughter forever. And understand, we don't live forever as parents. We end up leaving here, unfortunately. So I would guide Jason and tell him and coach him to listen, Jason, what you want to do is you want to teach your child to be independent of you. Teach your child to make decisions, especially girls. If you have any children, if you have more than one, I know you're working on maybe consider doing one, but if you're having more than one, always remember, if you have a child, as a father, and you are going to have, if you have a little girl, listen, make sure that that little girl, after she moves out of your home and after she leaves and becomes independent of you, she's really independent of you. She doesn't see you as some backup plan. Because let me tell you what happens when a daughter thinks you're a backup plan. They get out here in the real world and they have no idea how to take care of themselves, and they don't think of themselves as being who's responsible for their self-preservation. And so, because of that, a lot of times they get very lazy and they have high expectations of always being taken care of. And here's the thing, they might not always come to you, but what they will believe is that if I don't have my daddy, I got my man to take care of me. I don't need nobody. I need a man to take care of me. Well, hold on. And I would tell Jason, listen, you're the father, yes, but that doesn't mean you're forever going to take care of this child. Eventually, that child's going to get out on her or his own, and he needs to know, what do I need to do? I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't either when I got out on my own, but I had to learn. You want your child independent of you, but in the meantime, from 0 to 18, we'll just claim 18. We don't know that the child's going to stay till 18. They may jump ship at 16 or jump ship at 19, 20. We don't know. But what I'm saying is you want to make sure your child is often really thinking about, ooh, my father has my back. Yes, my father is wealthy and well-to-do. But now that I'm on my own, I'm not going to see that. I will go to my father for guidance or for some, fathering, but I'm not going to expect that my father is going to financially cover me for everything. Because when you do that, you cause a woman or a young girl to think she's mentally dependent on you for life, and you won't be here for life. 9 times out of 10 as a parent, we leave first. So we have to pay attention to the fact how we teach our children, and training should be as we're building and creating this beautiful, wonderful child and human being. We want that child to know they are loved, they are cared about. However, once you go out that door, everything is on you. You have to. You have to do the sink or swim. Because if you don't, in real life, these sharks will eat the daughter or the child alive. And so these are the 3 major things I would teach Jason to do by considering being a father ahead of time. Prepare for making sure that the child is rich in values. Make sure you build a high, awesome alliance with Tiffany, and make sure that when you are in that alliance, you both have each other's back no matter what. Don't let there be any wedge room where the child can wiggle in and try to play one parent over the other. And friend zoning, do not become the child's friend. Build discipline. Be okay with being unfavorable or unliked by the child. It is okay, because parenting isn't about friending. Parenting is about guiding the child, making sure that the child is in better standing and knows what to do in the event they no longer have you. I hope I helped you Jason Lee to just see my perspective and just consider what I'm saying. And everybody else who was here, I appreciate you for being here. Listen, be sure to share this video. Understand parenting is not easy. Not easy. It is the toughest, most hardest role you will ever play on the planet while you're here. But outside of that, just remember, subscribe to my channel, Coaching Matters. Join my Patreon. Be a part of my community over there. I do have the Vow to Guide e-course that I've already created. You can grab right now and use it, because Vow to Guide is very powerful. It is a e-course that you can use for even if you have an adult child, even if you don't have any child and you're just considering having one, preparing. And I like I said, I like that Jason Lee is preparing for having a baby, because a lot of times we procreate and we're all shocked, right? We don't have the preparation in place because we didn't know we were going to be a parent. A lot of times, a lot of pregnancies out here are unplanned. I wish him and Tiffany well. I look forward to seeing everything happen, and the babies are healthy. So it's your coach, Carla Nicole. And again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm out of here, guys. Grand Rising Delise. I really appreciate you. You guys have a great, great, great day. Bye.